This Wednesday in Chicago, it's the Guns against the Hardys. The past versus the future.
And the present, actually.
And the present.
Because we are, the best tag team in AEW.
Absolutely.
And on top of that, we're the best brother tag team in AEW. We grew up watching you. We know your strengths. We know your weaknesses. This match will be a walk in the park. And yes, you guys are one of the best tag teams of all time. But guess what? When you're the best, you always have someone gunning for you.
When I look at them, all I can think about them is 30 years ago, when they were snotty-ass little kids. Obviously, they have matured, and they are great athletes. They have a lot of great genetics. They have a lot of great DNA coming from daddy ass. But the fact of the matter is this. The comments they made about us were very arrogant, very egotistical, and I think they're forgetting who we are. We are legitimately in the conversation for one of the greatest tag teams ever, and we're going to remind the Guns exactly who we are on Dynamite.
And you Guns, you are going to be our stepping stone to becoming the AEW World Tag Team Champions and going out on a high note, being on top for our 4th decade.
We don't exist to retire, we exist to inspire.
We're coming back over the overhill, and we're gonna do what your daddy's been trying to do for the last 3 years. We're gonna make you famous.
You know what? I woke up this morning and I thought, okay, I'm going back to my birthplace. I'm going back to the city that I've called home for 41 years. It's gonna be a momentous occasion. It's gonna be stupendous. We're gonna finally end this chapter that we have been living of Aubrey, referees, Briscoes, farms, chickens. Well, it's clear that that wasn't the case tonight. It's clear that we need to go back to the drawing board to figure out how to end this thing once and for all. It's clear that we need to regroup and figure out how to cut the head off the chicken that is Mark Briscoe. And now that clarity is coming. It's coming. I think I know.
Speaking of clarity, speaking of coming to an end, Mark Briscoe, time after time, we have given you plenty of opportunities to do the right thing. And tonight, you thought that the right thing after a 20-year-plus friendship, you thought that the right thing was to have your dad with his hands on my throat, trying to choke the life out of me. If that is your sick idea of some weird friendship, I tell you what, Mark Briscoe, I want no parts of it. So from this point on, Mark Briscoe, you and I, we are no longer friends.
Mark Briscoe, you are solely responsible for this entire situation. You're solely responsible for my wife back here agonizing in pain. You're solely responsible for breaking up a 20-plus year friendship. You're solely responsible for ruining this man's homecoming. Briscoe, I'm gonna go back to my roots. I'm gonna go back to Mao. In 1977, 4 guys, the Blonde Bombers, Jerry Lawler, and Bill Dundee. What happened? Things got out of hand, and they fought all over the building in Tupelo, Mississippi, and it became legendary. 10 years later, another brawl took place. That brawl became legendary. And then a third time, the Moondogs against Jerry Lawler and Jeff Jarrett. And all 3 of them, it's known as the trilogy of the Concession Stand Brawl. My roots were way, way, way deeper than any hardcore wrestling. We invented hardcore wrestling.
That's right.
Briscoe, the old adage, you've bitten off way, way more than you can chew or swallow. I can assure you that. Wintrust Arena, Chicago, Illinois, Dynamite seen globally. It's gonna be me and you one-on-one, man and man.
And I can assure you this, I will be there, and my husband's hand will be the one being raised at the end of the night. He is gonna clean the floor with your freaking face! Oh!